In my screen. That makes me feel super fresh.
All right, fellas. Hey, Big Doug, you kicking us off, baby. We live now. All Burgundy and Go, everything with the urban sports scene. Fox Sports Radio, 1340 AM, 96.9 FM, Hopewell, Virginia. Post game, Washington football team finds a way to get it done on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. Big Doug, what's your initial thoughts for this road victory? That's huge to keep pace with Dallas.
A game that we should have always won, that we had no business winning, that we ended up winning. Like, that's it, right? That's if I spent all night trying to like come up with the headline and the storyline and write a really nice article, it would have been about the team that should have always won, that didn't deserve to win, that should have kicked the shit out of the other team. So you tell me. It feels good to have a win, but I'm still not even sure that we won. Did we win this game? Because it doesn't feel like it.
Found ways to stay around. That's how I look at it.
First of all, gentlemen, thank you for having me on. I
of
appreciate
course,
it.
brother.
Oh, Doug, man, you know what I said.
It's all love and family around here. I appreciate you having me on. But boy, what do y'all make? Ray, what you tell me, Ray? I know. I know Walt.
You know what?
Keep it, Middle Earth type stuff, and I know Ray likes to go scorched earth. So, where are we at right now, Ray? Did we win a game or what?
Well, you know what? I honestly think watching it, I said Atlanta just doesn't have the talent really that Washington has. I'm so serious. Mm-hmm. Washington has so much talent. We're talking Curtis Samuel, Diami Brown, Terry McLaurin. On the defensive side, he played. That was a good role he played.
I'm sorry to talk off you, but I just gotta say this. It's hard to see. It's hard to, we often talk about guys that you can see on tape that make a difference. Mm-hmm. He jumped off the tape today. Like, he was a guy that you said, hey, we paid this guy a lot of money to be good. And he made a lot of money today. 23 did not make a lot of money today.
Ooh. Good point.
That's a good point. I do think Atlanta dropped two obvious interceptions, which would have made a difference. But regardless, you still got to love the fact that Heineke always competes. Wole said it last week. He said, just compete. That's all I want to see. And I'm pleased with him. Like I said, he's growing on me. I've always been a person that no matter what, as long as you put forth your best effort and you don't let bad plays, affect your energy level, I'm cool with it, because I feel like the defense sometimes they just don't look like they have the right body language on the field. And I think my man Lake pointed that out on Twitter. He was like, the defense just lacks energy. They don't look confident. But I know that questionable roughing the passer call, which I know we'll talk about the refs, I think that definitely hurt their energy in the second half, of course. But still, the defense has to be cleaned up, and then Dustin Hopkins has to be addressed at some point, because you may not be in that position if he just makes 2 extra points. But still, you got to be happy with the role when you needed it. You had to get this one against an Atlanta team that's not going anywhere and that's rebuilding.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the defense. It's wild, because I was taking notes during the game, getting ready for this post game, and I was like, initially, I didn't like it. It was like the same old. They were the first quarter, I was really annoyed because it was real passive. The second quarter, I was actually happy with. I mean, I know they gave up a PI, but I saw some aggression. I saw some of the things that Ron Rivera ran in Carolina. I was seeing 8-gap blitzes. I was seeing them show blitz and back out. If you watch, throughout the first 3 games of the season, they weren't even showing blitz. They were just basically baying in coverage. They showed they were blitzing. This time they were doing so much more within that front, and I thought it made it easier for people like Chase and Montez and to folks to at least get Matt Ryan off of his spot. You know what I'm saying? But they gave up some.
Montez was good.
Yeah,
Montez was good.
Montez was good. So to me, in terms of bringing pressure, I thought they did a little bit better in bringing pressure. I know a lot of folks would be like, "Where's the pressure?" I thought they did a lot better. Now you mentioned Jackson. That was a problem because they brought in pressure, but you were getting beat. So it's now like this: your job is to be the number 1 corner, and you're on press. If you're supposed to be playing press cover, and you're getting beat, and you were like holding the PI, could have been some defensive holding. There's a lot that could have been called on you. So he's gonna have to step up. We are Landon Collins. He's a guy that I like. Landon Collins personally, I like Landon Collins, but it is what it is. Like, you're a problem. And I mean that in the truest sense. You are a problem for this defense. So they have to decide.
What is your problem? The way they're utilizing him, he's a problem. The way they're utilizing.
I agree, but they're utilizing him that way. So it is what it is. You're going to be utilized in coverage. If you're going to be in coverage, then screw it. Then you're going to have to bench him because this is the way you want to use him. Now, if you're going to play him in the beginning of that second quarter, he was utilized the way he's supposed to be utilized. I saw him a lot in the box. He was in the box in the second quarter. So when you watch that in terms of defense, I saw some good things, but also obviously you give up 30 points, it's a lot of bad things. Bostic was missing tackles, Landon missing tackles. I like McTire with the defense he played because he was always around. Right? I thought it was always around. So I like that. It's better than Kendall. I mean, when we see from Fuller that he's playing nickel, but he's not around. At least McTire is around, and I'm okay with that. So I think that's something that they can build off of. There's some things they can build off of from this game, but there's some things that they just have to scrap because you can't keep doing the same thing and think you're gonna get a different result.
The decline of Kendall Fuller, Wale, is incredible.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen because
watched a lot of football. That guy was really good last year, and defenses and offensive coordinators are just excited.
Yeah.
To get 39 and one-on-one coverage.
What's wrong with the third down defense? I feel like that was still an issue this game, Doug. Like at one point,
they can't get home with 4. That's the problem.
But even
they tried today. They actually sent a fifth man a bunch today, didn't they?
They did, and I want to give credit to doing to Matt Ryan too, because they did try to bring pressure on third down. He isolated the one-on-one.
The league knows. The league knows 2.5 seconds.
Yes.
Ball's out. You can get somebody open over the middle because the linebacker play is subpar.
Yeah.
And they don't even know who the nickel is anymore because now, at least with St. Juice outside, and everybody knew that from the offseason that he would eventually be there. Got there sooner or later. We talked about that ourselves before the season started together.
Yes, sure. Yes, sure.
So you tell me how they fix it. This defense is not sticky enough. They still brought 23 in as one of the better man corners in the league, and they continue to play Zen the whole time. And Ron said, it's a zone defense. The scheme works. We'll teach everybody how to play it, do your job. That's fine. But don't bring in man corners to play zone defense, please. Think about what the defense looks like if those guys sit 4 yards off the ball instead of 7.
Yeah, that's what bothers me about this defense is just what you're talking about. Like Willie Jackson, a lot of times it's like he's bailing. Like you see him pressing, he's bailing. I'm like, dude, like you brought him in to press up, put your hands on him. Like there's a reason why he got that PI initially. Like there's a reason because he is a press cover. He puts his hands on you. So why not let him put his hands on you when he's allowed to in that 5 yard range where you're allowed to put your hands on somebody so they can
now I like McTire. He turned his head around. McTire turned his head around and everything. That was a tough call.
He overthinks because some quarterbacks can't play deep balls. It is what it is. Like they panic. Like McTire just panicked. Like he panicked in that situation. But I like him. I think there is an interesting storyline that because what I saw out of McTire and what we continue to see out of Kendall Fuller is that if he plays like that, able to be around this man like that, that's a discussion they're going to have throughout. In the upcoming games, is saying, okay, are we going to play McTire in nickel because they need to make that decision right now.
I hit you on Twitter, Wale, and said that last week on Friday when I talked to Nikki Jimvala from the Post, I asked her, I said, is 26 still getting snaps because of that contract? She shrugged, took a second, and said, we could have a discussion about that if you'd like. That told me all I need to know about what, people that are really close to the team think about it. And performances like Tired today, I think we'll be asking the same question about Fuller in another week. Like,
I agree.
Why is he out there? Because of previous services, done? Because it ain't for what he's doing right now in my mind, because he gets smoked every week.
And that's what gets me about this team. I know we should be a little positive. So but I want to be real with
right. This is a chat we're having after a win. So
I know it doesn't feel like a victory to me the way y'all talking.
But we got to be real with because you see the same thing about players because it's the regime that's coming in and what this regime has been preaching to folks is that they're not giving anybody a job. It's about earning it. So everybody earns their job if your play is going to warrant what you do, how you go on this field. And right now, when you look at Fuller and you're looking at 26, you can't make an argument, or even Bostic to a certain extent, you can't make the argument that they deserve to be on the field over other individuals. And I'm gonna say this: if you were comfortable, and this is my thing about McTyer, if you were comfortable, I'm gonna keep saying it. If you were comfortable with cutting Jimmy Moreland for McTyer, who a guy Jimmy Moreland last season was rated pretty high in terms of nickel cornerbacks in the NFL. If you were that comfortable in doing it, then if Fuller is struggling, you should be comfortable enough and just say, you know what, we got this kid that can play nickel. Let him get some series. Let him get some snaps.
Well, we talked about this last Monday. The defense last year, when it was in full stride, had Curl and Reeves, Moreland outside, and Darby, who, he's hurt again. So we got the best year out of Darby he's ever had. But the fact matter is Darby had a really good year last year. Moreland had a really good year last year. Fuller had a really good year last year. And Reeves, who for whatever reason can't find his way on the field this year, had a really good last 3-4 weeks last year.
Sure did. So
all right, so also, guys, go ahead. My bad.
No, go right. No, go.
I just want to hit on some positives because, like I said, it doesn't feel like necessarily we're discussing a win yet.
Please, bro, please.
You got the stop you needed when it counted. What contributed to that defensive possession or that Atlanta offense? You stopped that run on first down. Obviously, lost at 3 yards. I don't like the way, I'm a Falcons fan though, so I don't like.
Tell you why.
Called that. But at the same time,
that was it.
I'm like, but I mean, from a Washington standpoint, there wasn't much resistance all day. Look at the stuff you guys are pointing out. So I guess you can look at that as an encouraging sign when you got the Falcons off the field when it mattered.
I thought the screenplay was a good call for Washington. I was like, all right.
The screenplay is always good until they don't block it right.
Yeah. But see, they didn't blitz.
And then I'm looking at my wife talking about that's a beautiful play if they blocked that thing right.
Yeah, I know, but for that, for Washington. But when they ran the screenplay and because the Washington wasn't bringing pressure, I think Atlanta must have thought we're going to bring pressure, bring an extra man or two. We didn't bring pressure, so I was like, this is a design screen. Okay, they should be able to wrap up. If they can tackle, because Landon Collins missed a tackle to let homeboy score anyway. But I was like, if they could tackle, this should be okay. And I was like, all right, Atlanta let Washington off the hook. So that was my thought process. It wasn't anything that Washington did on that drive. I just thought that they played it safe with Matt. They played it safe on the screen pass, which gave Taylor Heineke an opportunity to lead the team down.
So not a positive then, I guess. But what is a positive for me is you're down 8 and Taylor Heineke is smiling when he's coming back on the field. That means he was confident. I know he's back home and all, but still, that says to me, he seems like the most confident guy on the team right now. Chase to me was the leader coming into the season, but now it's looking like Taylor Heineke. And of course, Terry McLaurin is that the secondary guy, or is 1A or 1B. He made a big play. He got away with a push off, but it's all good because the referee wasn't good all the way around. But talk about that play.
83 will not get enough credit, but when Logan Thomas went down, I looked at the missus and said, ooh, we don't have enough horses to stay in a race without. I mean, 82 is significant in what they plan on doing. And the backup really came in and made a big deal. And I really thought he played super well. He missed the one catch when he laid out for it. I understand that, but I think when we look back and rewatch the tape, we'll appreciate how well 83 played today.
No, I agree, Doug. I think he played real well. I think it's going to be if and it's not. I mean, Logan Thomas has been great for this team, but I do think if he gets the opportunity, you can see him do some positive things for his football team. I think because I was talking to my brother and he gave this. He told me this. I didn't know. People forget that 83 was the highest rated wide receiver coming out of high school going to college.
Yeah, so Texas A&M guy.
Yeah, so he is he's in terms of skill set, he's a little different from the average tight end.
He is definitely the modern day shift tight end, if you will, better catcher than blocker. But he stepped in and made some really big plays today. There's no doubt. And I had to switch to my cell phone here, so I'm not on the laptop, so I can't look it up. But Taylor Heineke had another good day passing the football.
He did.
I mean, I can't look it up, but I mean, he was. Did he hit 3 hundo?
Meh.
Did he hit 3 hundo on the day?
He was
He
close.
made
Like
plays. And
he
he
made
made plays with his legs too. I'm like, did Atlanta look at the scouting on this dude? Like, how was he just having so many open lanes to
and he
run?
still left
But
plays out there too. Left a
that's my
couple
fan
first
hat on.
downs out there for sliding too early.
Oh my
Maybe.
God! I'm like, what is this field
man.
awareness? Like in Madden, it must be like a 66. Like, what is this field? I was like, what are you doing? Like, that's the first thing. I didn't want to be overly critical initially, but I was like, I mean, I don't know. They talked to him about being extra safe or something like that, because I was like, you're sliding way too early. Even when you're not giving yourself up, you're sliding early. I'm like, nobody's near you. You can run it and take that out of bounds. Like, you're fine. But yeah, I don't know. He
Doug,
Ray, quickly remind us what the score was. Ray, quickly remind us what the score was.
Washington football team, baby, 34, Atlanta 30. What did that kick return mean to you guys to open the second half?
Again, I don't have my cell phone handy. When's the last time that Washington scored a kick return touchdown?
I said Desmond Howard.
We watched this team a long
I want to say
time.
Brandon Banks. Was it Brandon Banks?
Brandon Banks, probably.
Red, and I don't recall.
Probably Brandon Banks. Or the Steven Sims. I think no. Steven Sims Jr. had one. He had one. He had a kickoff return for a touchdown.
From a punt return, not a kick return.
That was kickoff return. That was a kickoff return for a touchdown. That was a kickoff return. That
was either way, it doesn't come in abundance, and it was fantastic to see, because that way I don't have to see him poo-pooing after he doesn't return a kick. I hate that more than anything.
Yeah, he gets mad. He gets mad. I love him. I think he's so different from any other returner that his team's had of late, because he's all about getting positive yardage. There's no wasted movement with him.
We got a couple Heineke comments.
Can I say this? Go ahead, my bad, Ray.
No,
Terry
Sims'
hands are nasty. Can we talk about how Terry McLaurin attacks the football
he's a beast
when receiving? Like his hands are nasty.
Yeah, he's an animal, man. He's an animal.
He snatches receptions, and I appreciate that, because we haven't had one in a while either.
Terry is the short thing on this team, but George Templeton, my man on Twitter, he said Heineke was decent today, but he can throw from the pocket. If the play breaks down, then all of a sudden he's on point. And then you got Mo, who's saying basically Heineke's the guy, not sexy, but he's the one. This is the guy you're going to ride with, at least until Fitz comes back.
I don't think Fitz getting his job. I like Fitz, but I don't think he's getting his job back.
Well, can I say this about Heineke? I love Heineke, but you know where he misses that deep shot to was it McLaurin there in the goal line? His arm's not big enough. Like Aaron Rodgers zips that ball
easily
in there, and it's a completion.
He
don't got enough.
Wow, Fitz
way down there, like
the
the starting line. It was a completion. Aaron Rodgers, the stronger arms in the league, get that in there. He put too much air into the ball. Again, it's nitpicking, but his arm is not big enough to make upper echelon throws, and that's the only thing he's missing.
Yeah, I don't really say I'm never really over like arm. To me, it's all about ball placement. I mean, as long as your arm is adequate enough to a certain extent, I'm good with it. But if you're accurate, I can rock with you 24/7. That's why I used to love Chad Pennington back in the day. But to me, what I like about this kid is
let's not have Chad Pennington conversation.
I know a lot of people don't like him. I love Chad Pennington, but it's okay. That's a whole different discussion. But I like about this kid,
West Virginia guy, man.
Or Ray has talked about it before, that the kid can
Marshall.
That's what I like about it. He just got a dog.
He went to Marshall. I mean, that's in West Virginia, Doug. I know he went to school.
Yeah,
it is. That's true. Anyway, that is fair. It's in West Virginia.
He got a dog-like mentality.
You know, I know the history.
He got a dog-like mentality.
So. You can recognize that.
I like guys like that. Listen, I'm telling you, Heineke has the support of the team, the coaching staff. You guys might be right. Fitz might be done, but you brought in Fitz to be the starter, which is interesting. And now you're saying after 2 wins, he won't get his job back. But it's still 2-2. After the first quarter of the season, you can't be mad considering you lost your starting QB, considering the defensive issues that you did not expect. So, guys, it seems like we've talked about everything we can about this game. Is there anything you guys want to add before we kind of look forward? Because the Giants proved today, my point, that the schedule means nothing. Matter. And also, if Kendall Fuller's on the field and Landon Collins, can we get the narrative eliminated that this is like a rebuild? Yeah, man, please. Ron wants to win now, dude. He's showing it with some of the decisions. So he wants to win, bro. And like I said, the talent on this team is undeniable, man. I can't deny that.
Who's got the yards per carry for Gibson and McKissick today?
Oh, I got that. I can pull that
Because
up for you right now,
that's
bro.
what we should be talking about right now. Is
Mm,
that
Yeah,
good
Gibson
point.
was well over 5 yards a
I know,
carry, and I bet
man.
McKissick was too. And I said this 2 weeks ago. People laughed at me. McKissick is every bit the back right now that 24 is. I'll stand on that.
I think he is. So McKissick.
No,
Oh,
no
okay.
disagreement.
McKissick. Well, McKissick
Last week they
averaged.
laughed at me about that, Ray. I said that last week, Ray, and they laughed.
Well, McKissick averaged 2.1 yards a carry today,
But
which
what
I know
about
what you're saying.
receptions?
Reception was an animal. He had 5 receptions for 44 yards, obviously, and the touchdown. Gibson was 14 carries for 63 yards. He averaged 4.5 yards a carry with a
Mo,
touchdown.
Like
Did you watch the game? That's what I want to know. I want to know if Mo watched the game because I mean, like I said, while I respect Taylor, he's growing on me. That throw it up kind of Drew Brees crap that Terry pushed off and
That was
caught, like that's
freestyle.
not going to work moving forward. I mean, you could get a man love, but that's some BS on any other team. You plan to
Oh no, one gave. No, I said I didn't say nothing about.
No, I'm talking to Mo. I'm talking to Mo. Mo's like all on Heineke now. But here's the thing.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Turner called a good game. Turner gets credit.
Doug,
Turner deserves some credit. He played a really good game. Called a really good game.
Doug, I want to get your thoughts on
You got me on that one, Doug. You should have ran the ball
Scott
more.
Turner.
Go ahead, though.
Scott Turner.
How about the way they worked Scott Turner into the game? Not Scott. What about the way they worked Curtis Samuels into the game?
That was good though. I like that. But they need to run the football though. I'm a Joe Gibbs type.
He rode when he decided to go on first down. He rode with it. Yeah. Rode the run game too. He was unpredictable.
All he wants to do is
I thought he called a really nice game. I'm a Turner fan, and
I can tell. I'm not. See, that's the problem. See, Doug, this is where
I know.
This is like Crips and Bloods right now. Like this is what it is. Like I can't. I
can't. Hey, Doug, come on, man. Scott Turner. What is making you like him at this point? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like I heard he's an offensive genius, and I heard that on your show, as a matter of fact, from you and Pooh. Like the national guys are on him, but I haven't seen it yet. I just haven't seen it. Taylor Heineke improvised and threw it in the air.
Guys that are a lot smarter than me or Pooh come on our show religiously that cover the league and say that's a smart guy. They put up 30 points today. Tell me how.
So it's
I don't even know. You know what? I know why.
No, because
there were guys open and he missed and he left. Go back and watch again. We'll find out. He left a ton of yards out there.
No, he did. No, they did have a ton of yards. I will say this though, like the thing about so defense is
82 went out in the first half.
When we talk about a defensive mastermind, right? I mean, offensive mastermind, right? I'm like, all right, it's always depending on the talent you play against too, right? And no, Ray, this is not knock on Atlanta. This is not.
Oh, it needs to be. Atlanta's terrible.
Atlanta's defense isn't good.
No, it's not.
Right? You get an opportunity to play Buffalo. You had an opportunity to play Buffalo. You saw a difference. So I'm saying if you're gonna be a quote unquote, if you're gonna be a guy that has that type of mindset, because we know who are offensive geniuses.
Sal Capaccio is the sideline reporter for the Bills. Yeah. I had him on the show 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And he says to me, well, let's do this differently. Mm-hmm. Imagine if the Bills roll into town with Taylor Heineke at quarterback and Washington's got Jonathan Allen. How do you look at the game?
I will say, look, but imagine this though.
Nobody's worried about Taylor Heineke. You know why Taylor Heineke has good games? Because the offensive coordinator dials him up.
But I will say this: imagine Taylor Heineke with Sean Payton. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think? Imagine
he'll have some big white guy that comes in after him on a touchdown.
Okay, Doug, I'm still not sold on him. Yeah, but you know what though? Teams that you got coming down the pipe.
For quarterback draws today.
The Saints, the Packers, their defenses are questionable. The Chiefs' defense isn't good right now, as we were reminded again today. So there's going to be opportunities for Taylor Heineke to succeed, and there's also going to be opportunities for Scott Turner to show his offensive genius moving forward. But Mo, all this stuff about gritty and stuff about Heineke, we've been telling you that since the playoffs, and you weren't listening then. Now all of a sudden you want to listen.
Facts.
So I don't want to hear it right now. Like I said, I might be wearing my fan hat absolutely because I felt like there was some Tim Tebow Angels in outfield type crap going on today. And hey, you need that. Yes, when a ball magically lands in Terry's hands in the end zone, that you just like,
That
I
is
could
a
have threw that
baseball
today.
reference, honey.
So
George has a comment. George also he stated Taylor Heineke's best plays come when the play breaks down. That's got zip to do
Tim
with Scott
Tebow,
Turner.
he is
said
Got
zip.
his
He
Kurt-
said
He
that's
got
got
Kurt
zip to do
He
with
has
Warner
Scott
on.
no
He got
Turner.
Kurt
arm.
Warner on today.
He said
People
that's
are
got zip
dying
to
for
do
Kurt
it.
Warner time. Have we got the tip? Do we have our own Kurt
Oh,
Warner,
man.
Terry Holt, or what? What is going on?
I don't know.
Get outta
But
here.
no, they had a better situation. They had more talent. That team had more talent. They had Marshall Falk. We don't have him.
But you know what?
We got
One
some
thing I
Jared
will say
Patterson
again,
carries.
I'm
We got
a
some Jared Patterson carries today.
Oh yeah, well, you like that, right?
Did that get you very excited, Wale? With
It
the
did.
Jared
Sure did. I was
Patterson
happy. Should
carries?
have some more. We need more. A little homie.
He looked slow with those carries.
He did. He did look slow. I'm not gonna lie to
So-
you. He got walked. He
The
got walked with that
the
backside.
league is a different animal, Wale.
Facts. I'm not gonna argue. You're right about that.
Funny how when you look really fast in preseason games against third stringers, that you don't look quite so fast when the real live action's going and you got first stringers. Also, name me 2 linebackers that play for Atlanta right now. Name 2. Come on, do it fast. And I'll spot you.
Deion Jones
and I'll
and
spot you, Deion Jones.
and Locon.
You said that
Dante
all
Fowler.
wrong, Ray. You said that all wrong.
He's Nigerian.
Atlanta's the. You know, I told somebody this week. I said the last time Atlanta lost to Washington is when they played that whack 3-4 under Wade Phillips, and it's the same defense right now. And and it was the same. It was the same weird type of
We
game.
lined
Just
up
like
in
today.
some of that 34 to go.
Atlanta was up with Doug Johnson at quarterback, by the way, back then against the Patrick Ramsey-led Washington, whatever.
We remember this game. Always gotta go back to this game.
17-0, and today the same thing. You know, the Washington football team spotted us and still lost. But moving forward, the Saints coming to town though. Jameis Winston, they're coming off of a loss. I know the fan base is euphoric to some degree. There's certain guys that I follow on Twitter.
Game today?
Overtime, it was 27-21.
27-21. Giants marched right down and scored in overtime, man, which was impressive. I told Mo this during the show last week too. The Giants always compete. Washington has to be that way. The Giants always have a chance. So that's not a shoo-in for Dallas next week. But for Washington coming home, listen, I feel like you got to build off this momentum. This is still momentum. This is a W on the road, a much-needed W. Again, 2-2 after the first quarter of the season. Every game is a must-win, Daggone. Well, they keep posting that question.
But nah, this is the thing though. We're going to the game, but there's a big question needs to be discussed right now. Like,
what's that?
Like, is dude having a job after today? Like, is Hopkins going to be on the squad? Is he after today? Because I thought it was interesting that he didn't even get the opportunity to kick the field goal just at the end of the game. I thought it was interesting. I was like I was saying to myself, like, Ron may be
much like wearing the all white jerseys. He didn't earn the right to kick that.
yeah, he didn't earn the right to kick that field goal. I think that was a message.
You tell me they refused to even bring in competition. I never even understood it. And if you can say that he can kick it past into the end zone on kickoffs and make extra points, then he didn't do that today.
Yeah.
So
and where did the guy from Tennessee come from? This year he's just slashing everybody in the league and totally crushed us. If they don't have him playing today at running back / wide receiver / whatever it is that he does, he killed us today.
He's on Patterson. Oh, Patterson's a beast.
That's what I was right. That's where I was right.
Yeah, you were right about Patterson.
No, okay, so Wole and I had two points that we clashed on, and both of us turned out to be right. I said, I don't think Heineke can get it done on the road because of what I saw in Buffalo. You're like, man, Atlanta's not Buffalo. And as I was watching the game, I'm like, yeah, Atlanta's not Buffalo. I thought they were going to bring pressure.
Crowd today. You could hear it in the booths.
It was. They traveled well today. They traveled well today. I will admit that. And then I told Wole, I said, it's not really that's the biggest threat to you all is Patterson. But anyway, Washington got the W. Like I said, moving forward, you got Sean Payton coming to town. You think he's licking his chops? Like, I'm going against this Washington defense. And I hope they defer. Why does Ron keep deferring as if this defense is going?
Yo, why?
We talked about this. I thought maybe this would be the week. But, Ron got it this week. They had the opportunity for the unicorn, the all triple score, right? They had scored. They had a chance to stop Atlanta there. They gave up that huge penalty. They could have scored there and then got the ball back. Instead, they totally, I've got expletives that can explain it for you, but
we know
we're
what you're
leaving
trying to
out.
say.
But they did. Triple score was an option. They didn't even come close. I guess they did.
So Doug, I love the smile, Doug. Wole, I love the smile. You can tell that Washington won based on your look. But
I was gonna laugh regardless.
How confident are you guys heading into a matchup with the Saints? I want to know, Doug, like how you feeling?
I mean, I don't know how confident were you in them beating the Falcons, which I really thought should have been like a smash on you type thing. I think we're good enough to beat them. Definitely. I don't know that the linebackers are good enough to cover 41. They're 41.
Ooh.
Right? Like you want to see
that's a problem.
You like to see him lined up, not me.
That's a serious problem.
I like Jameis Winston. I would have liked to see him in burgundy and gold. I thought actually that was a fit for what they wanted to do here. So I like him. Taysom Hill gimmick stuff does not concern me too much. And if Michael Thomas isn't playing, we're playing at a high level. If he's ready to come back next week, I don't think so, right? So who's wide receiver number 1 for New Orleans? So feels like a game that's winnable, right?
Here's what I expect. I expect Curtis Samuels.
I had it winnable before the season started. I have it winnable now.
It's winnable. It's definitely every game is winnable, Doug. Just remember, unless it's like the Patriots, Tom Brady back then, 52-10. the blowout to the Patriots, but every game is winnable.
It's dirty.
There's no game on this schedule moving forward that's not winnable in my eyes. But I'm thinking though that Curtis Samuels' role is going to grow on offense. So your boy Scott Turner has a chance. He has in my Mike Wilbon voice. Your boy Scott Turner has a chance to further prove himself to use another weapon this week.
I'll take him all day, Michael.
The corn highs. I love it. I like it.
I peeked that. I'll take it.
I love it. So I think offensively, you got to feel pretty good that you got a guy who's going to give you a chance. But defensively is where the questions are.
It's a problem, man.
They're still out there, and the kicker, of course, because Wole will not let.
No, it's all a problem, man. Like we can all say, like, do you feel like they have a chance? But it's the same thing. I have the same feel I had for Atlanta, like the Atlanta game. Like this offense any quarterback can get right against this defense. Any quarterback. Like Matt Ryan had his best game against. Matt Ryan had his best game against.
I know.
Matt Ryan had his best game against this defense. Jameis Winston had some games he threw touchdowns, but I guarantee he's gonna have his best yardage game.
And for us, Stickman's got to be willing to get rid of the ball sooner. Like, how many hits did he take today that just you were thinking to yourself, why did you just get hit like that when you could turn the ball away?
Yeah,
or pick up the 6 yards and then, or don't slide 2 yards before the sticks. Like, Stickman's got to be better at understanding where the sticks are and when to get down and when not to. I don't know. It was frustrating today.
Yeah, it was.
Until he does better, he's Stickman to me.
Doug, why isn't there more play action? You're playing against a bad run defense. You were running the ball effectively, but I don't even get the Mark Brunell naked bootleg, man. I want to see something that's somewhat innovative.
Ray, you can always outsmart yourself. When you get down there and you're willing to run on 1st and 2nd down there at the goal line, then you run 3rd and 4th. If you're down there using play action on 1st down, then you do it again on 2nd and 3rd down. To me, that the goal line is easy, and guys outthink themselves all the time. If you run it on 1st and 2nd down, run it on 3rd and 4th down. If you pass it on 1st and 2nd, do it again on 3rd and 4th, because they're never going to see you doing it every single time. Be stubborn. And when they were down there on the goal line, it should have been a Heineke quarterback keeper, and they had 2 chances to do it there at the end, and I really thought they'd let him keep it right up the gut. Didn't do that. But it doesn't matter. It actually was, despite the tone, a victory today.
No, it was definitely a W. I don't want to act like it wasn't a W. But it's the same feeling I had after the Giants game when they beat the Giants. It was like you could still take.
All right, Doug, you got a comment, bro.
I mean, you can. Oh, Doug got a comment. What's Doug's comment?
Doug got a comment on Twitter. Taylor Heineke's best plays come when the play breaks down. That's got zip to do with Scott Turner.
He's had 4 of those. he's had 4. He's had 4 of those in 4 games. So that's fantastic. I love that. But if you think that's why we're winning football games, then
we ain't winning football games. Because we can beat teams who aren't that good. That's why we're beating certain football teams. I just feel like, again, we going into that game, watching the game, like the Giants game, like there's a reason why if you're a real fan or just you're being objective to what's going on, you're not happy because you're not totally happy because because the
Heineke
talent
was
that you
good
have.
today. He left a lot of yards out there. That's all.
Yeah,
The interesting thing about football is that both things can be true.
everything can be true. Yeah.
Heineke was really good, and part of the reason that we won this football game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heineke wasn't great, and he left yards out there. That's okay to say.
No, definitely. Both things can be true. Because he did leave yards out there on the field. I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, this team isn't playing good football. I don't care. Like, the talent. If you give,
we're not playing great football. You could see how the offense changed with Samuels out there. I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's fair. But I believe this. If you give, to your point that you were talking about, like the Buffalo and Heineke, like that, you use that analogy. Well, if you give, like, I give
I agree.
this talent to like Baltimore, like, you're good. Like, that defense is not giving up points like that. If you give the Baltimore Ravens this defensive talent, this defense is totally different. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, but that's because you run an offense with a free quarterback that allows you to play, keep away football.
I'm talking about the defense is shutting down. I'm saying defense is shutting folks down. They're not giving up 30, 40 points. Like, this defense, if you give them the talent, the same players, and you put them in Baltimore, you give Baltimore Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Matt Ioannidis, Ron Payne.
That's fine. All right, now flip it and give Washington their quarterback.
I don't even know they're gonna do it right. I don't know if they do. I don't know if they use them right.
But assuming they use them the same way, though,
well, they would score 30 points. They would score 30 points and still give up 50 points on the defensive side.
Well, then you're suggesting that the scheme's fucked up, Waller.
Yeah. Oh, I am saying that.
It's not a talent problem, though. That's the problem. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right, fellas. It's too early. It's too early for predictions. It's too early for game predictions. It's too early for game predictions, but I do think that the Buffalo game is the last time you see this team just get blown out the water. At least based on what I've seen, and based on the fact that you have a weapon back in Samuel, and Taylor Heineke gives this team a chance because of the way he competes. I'm hoping the defense will get it together at some point. I think they will, and I hope they do it at the right time. Win your division games, steal some of these games that you got coming up. I think you can beat the Saints and the Packers. I really do.
Ron Turner teams historically get better as the year goes on. That's a fact.
From last year, you're talking about his last year. You said Ron. You said Scott Turner. Ron. You said Scott Turner.
Ron. He combined them.
Yeah, definitely.
I said Ron Turner. I said Ron Turner. I meant Ron Rubin.
You're totally right. You're totally right. He does. He's the
Yeah, so it's going to come. It'll gel. I thought it would take some time to gel, honestly, on both sides, like I mentioned. So we'll see what happens, guys. You have anything else you want to add before we close out? Because it's been fun. Doug, your TV was delayed. I'm listening to you live, and I'm thinking that the Terry McLaurin play was going to get overturned. I'm like, hold up. He looked down.
I mean,
he didn't look like he called.
I'm gonna figure out that
like,
Twitter thing.
Hold up. If Terry is with a fumble.
I'm gonna figure that out. I didn't know how to do that. It's the first time I ever tried, but a bunch of people hopped on. We'll try to do it again next week because it was fun to do that Twitter scene.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to hear you celebrating.
I'm always nervous during games. I always assume the worst. You don't want to watch these things with me. I assure you, it gets your blood pressure wrong.
Oh, Doug, I'm the same way. I didn't think they were going to do anything. I was ready. I was ready for the negative. Like when Hopkins kicked the first extra point, I thought he was going to miss it, and he missed it. And I was like, oh, okay.
We need more Jeremy. I know you're getting ready to close this thing out, so I'll say this: we need more Jeremy Reeves and more Gibson. Gibson was on his way to 6 or 7 yards to carry. He got stuffed a couple times, but the script for the game really was exactly what they do. We still need more pressure. We still need to rush five more often. Yeah, Ioannidis looked like he was healthy again today. More work out of Ioannidis, always great.
That was good.
And McTire was sticky, so I liked him. Excited to see more of McTire. Kendall Fuller, good luck to you.
Yeah, I like McTire. Again, to your point, like I'm gonna add on. I'm gonna piggyback on that. You're gonna look at the PIs and whatnot. Or then one they decided not to keep where it was a PI. But it's, to me, he's around. I think that's the most important thing when you look at the cornerback is that you're not getting beat. Like, he's around. You know what I mean? Like that. he panicked when he saw the deep ball. So when he panicked, he grabbed. So I feel like once he gets past that, when he's on the field a little bit more, he gets used to it. If from what I saw, I know it's a short sample size. Like that though was already better than what anything Kendall Fuller has done this year.
Right.
And it's unfair. I know it's unfair to say that, but it's the truth. It's a short sample size, but all the plays he was targeted, he was around.
Guys,
it's a home game, right? We think the early line is probably like Washington -2.
Yeah, probably -2, -3. Yeah, something like that.
3. They were +1 today. They covered the spread
more,
today.
Depends, though. It made it because they lost the Giants is going to look bad. So let's say plus, like yeah, they're -3. The Giant loss is going to hurt the image a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, Doug, you want to plug your show, brother?
Yeah, at the Big Doug Show, Big Douglas Show, anywhere you find your content. We do Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows, and we just love to talk about the team. Always better to talk about these things after a win. I think Chris Baker, Big Pooh, be on the show Monday, so we'll have a lot of fun.
Swaggy. All right, man. We gonna be looking out for you, brother. Well, we appreciate you joining us today. Washington W. Now we gotta unpack the other details of what occurred during this Atlanta game. For me, I gotta do some Atlanta stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna wear my fan hat just for a few more hours, and I'll be back to my Washington football.
What do you have to feel about Atlanta, though? Right? Like, what is there? What do you feel about Atlanta?
I'll be quick. I mean, this is clearly a rebuilding team, which is fine. They actually overachieved today against Washington. If you ask me, I didn't think offensively they were going to be as good. They haven't been good offensively all season. They scored 6 points at home against Philly. They laid an egg last week in New York. They didn't score a lot of points, but the defense stepped up. I'm like, hold up, if the defense is starting to come together, maybe they can pressure Heineke. He is. I thought they would start to pressure Heineke, and I was a little disappointed.
They're old for a rebuilding team too, Ray. That's the funny thing. They're old. Like that secondary got old real fast.
Yeah, well, listen.
That's my man, Fabian Monroe. I still like Fabian. That's my guy.
Hey, so. I like Fabian too.
I'll say this: Atlanta they let Washington off the hook on that last drive. They sure did. And with no punter, I'm like, you don't have a punter. You got to be aggressive. And for whatever reason, they went conservative, thinking that our defense could hold the Washington football